Hi, everybody. My name is Ankush Kapoor. Thank you for joining this session today on identity as the new perimeter. We're going to talk about how do you adapt security for multi-cloud environments. And it's my delight to introduce my colleague and comrade in crimes and arms, Amit Verma here. Amit, welcome.
Thank you, Ankush, and thank you for taking time, and thank you, audience, for listening to us. My name is Amit Verma. Quick introduction about myself. I have been into this session is I've been into identity and access management space pretty much most of my career, and also in few other cybersecurity space. And I have worked with a lot of other peers, colleagues in different industries and different domains, and I've been observing this as a main kind of questions I'm hearing from a lot of my customers, vendors, and whatnot, and how the industry is going to be evolving on this particular area where identity is kind of entering into a new parameter completely as compared to in the past. So, this is today we are going to talk about it more, and thanks for listening to me as well. Appreciate it.
And talk about what's really changed over the last few years. Let's do that because Amit, one of the unique perspectives that you bring in is you've just not been on the consulting side. You've actually been on the consumption side, right? You've been in organizations where you've been responsible for the defense of the organization from an identity perspective, and you've seen the industry evolve in a while. So over the last decade or so, what are some of the phenomenal shifts that you've seen, and you know it'll be good to pick your brains on that, so that from there we can look at how those changes impact a cloud environment and then a multi-cloud environment.
Thank you, Ankush. Yeah, and see, and when I'm coming from both side of the house, like consulting and also securing the organization, the big change or evolution, I will say, has happened is that now uh, everyone, I will say, most of the organization either they are using SaaS product or they are having their own cloud environment built in. Uh, Previously, the approach was very different, where people used to build their own data centers and infrastructure, and it was not that much scalable as well. Because imagine in 15, 20 years back, if you have to have a server, then the process which any organization has to go through, first get the budget approved, that in true for every case, but then they have to put in an RFP, then to select multiple vendors who can provide them the servers, then those servers comes in, then you have to have a lot of like electricity and all those logistics. I don't want to go into those areas, but to just build that server used to take long time. And not just servers, then apart from that, then deploying the product on those servers was very time consuming as well. It used to take in, I remember when I started my career in identity and access management space, I still remember even an installation of a product at a particular customer or a vendor, it will take, for any vendor it will have taken like a month to get it to right mix for all the components and build a DR environment and a clustered environment, which today has completely changed. You can spin up a server in like few minutes and with all the bells and whistles, and you can focus on your core requirements and security needs, and you can secure your environment pretty fast. That has significantly changed over the period of time. Same as when cloud evolved, a lot of other companies came in, and we have seen a lot of other areas where uh, sometimes people build resiliency to have these multi-clouds environment built in, because companies think that yes, if one particular cloud provider goes down, their core services will not be working. They evolved into that area to build some resiliency and use multiple cloud providers. I think that has significantly changed. Now, if I come and touch to the area of identity and access management, how this has evolved into the cloud space as well, and within IAM space as well, is previously the IDs and the infrastructures were very limited. You have didn't had that sprawl of identities or a sprawl of credentials go spread across the organization. Now it is all over the place. You have so many IDs, so many accounts, so many service accounts, so many machines ID, human identities. everywhere these are spreading all over the place, and that's where it is has changed significantly. I'll, that is the
Sure.
reason we are talking about this topic prominently.
Definitely the changing risk landscape also has a role to play. So one, the threshold for attacking has definitely come down for sure, right? Bandwidth is no longer a problem. It is no longer something that costs a lot of money. Scaling up, whether it is users, components, infrastructure, has become trivial, right? I mean, and some of the security processes previously were geared around the slow pace. So you went through a process to procure a server. You went through the process of installing a server, commissioning it. So security had the opportunity to work at a certain pace and make sure that it was secure and so on and so forth, right? Now you have Kubernetes where on the fly you will have
Mhm.
multiple instances that are created, that are infrastructure components. All of the infrastructure components have processes, which means they are being owned by certain identities. It gets pretty crazy pretty fast. So, and you've often heard that in the industry in this context that identity is the perimeter, and sometimes I feel even that perimeter sort of seems to be dissolving.